Okay, here's another great tool for Edtech and language learning and language application in particular. This would have to be absolutely my favorite actually. This is called Voxopop. It was known as ChinSwing a couple of years ago. And then the developer, Dean Worth, great guy, I've met him a few times, based in Melbourne. He upgraded it all and made all sorts of changes and turned it into this thing called Voxopop. Now you're looking at the main homepage right now. Very easy to get started, to get involved, whether it's you or your learners. Basically you need to sign up. It is free. The details required are nice and simple. This is one of the things I really like about Voxopop. It's so easy for you and your learners to get in there. All you need to do is choose a username and a password, confirm that password, have an email address. You can choose your country. You can use it, put in a user icon if you want, or you can choose a pattern. The optional details, are your town and your city, your website, your Skype, any comments you want to add about yourself. But basically, on the left here is the only thing that really needs to be filled out, and it's nice and quick and simple to do. Now, I'm already a member, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually just going to log in up here. And I always ask Voxopop to keep me logged in, and that's really useful for when I want to jump around and do different things on different talk groups. Now what Voxopop basically does is it allows you to either participate in talk groups or build your own talk groups that you can then ask your learners to come and join and participate in through this idea of a talk group. Now I'll take you to an example talk group that I've made. When you're a member, you actually come in. Very good. I like this user interface here. It shows you what discussions from different talk groups you've been in, participating in, starting with the most recent. It shows you what discussions you're watching. If you want to watch them, you can have them sent to your email or not. And also the talk groups that you are a member of. And there's also an admin button in terms of any private talk groups you may have started where you need to approve the members. I'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. But I'll go to my talk groups for the moment, and I'll go to one that I made some time ago called English iTalk. And basically this is a discussion forum for learners to come in and actually just use their English. They can contribute to topics that I've put up there, or they can make their own. So let's go to a simple one here. How's the weather where you are right now? And this is our talk thread. Really, intuitive, easy and attractive interface to look at here. We've got our talk group name up here at the top. This is our discussion thread. How's the weather where you are right now? We've got a interface here that shows us 5 recordings, starting from the first one. And you can see also you can actually skim around through all these submissions that have been put in. So it's a really great way of navigating a very extended conversation across multiple people. But basically you can start your discussion thread with a topic, and I've done one here.
Hello all the members of English iTalk. I've got another open conversation topic here. This one's a pretty simple one. It's basically about the weather. So how's the weather where you are right now? The reason I thought of this was because where I'm living, suddenly we've been hit with some really wild weather.
So I've introduced our topic for this thread, and I've said a little bit about some wild weather that had just hit me in where I was located. And now the other members of the talk group can get involved. So our first member here.
The weather in my city is very nice. It is kind of late springtime, and the summer just started.
So we can pause that, and we can skim along. We can listen
Hello
to them all.
There. The weather in my place right now is quite good, and it is so dry, pure, with the sunshine, and there's no wind, but it's quite.
So this is great. People can go in and contribute to this topic, and then we can come in.
Hi everyone. Well,
See, this is me again. This is me. I've recorded again in the thread, and I'm, contributing again.
thanks very much for telling us about the weather in your parts of the world, all of you. I'm very envious. Almost everybody has talked about good weather and lovely weather for going out, and
so we actually have an interactive conversation going on here with, multiple people contributing over a period of time. And basically you can play your way right through the conversation, or you can skim along and just listen to your submissions or particular learners' submissions. And, very easy to contribute a message if you're a member of this talk group. There's just a record a message button here, and you'll click on that. It will come up looking like this. It's going to load the recorder for me, nice and fast. And I could leave a message if I want to. I can put a little bit of text there, like, for example, weather for today. And I can record. Now I'm just going to say something simple here, just for the purposes of example. Hi there everyone, it's been a while since I let you all know about how the weather is here. We are in spring at the moment, but it is raining. Not too cold, it's quite a fresh rain. So I don't know what season it is in your part of the world, but here it's a bit wet and very springy. Now I can press stop. Now this is where the Voxopop really flexes its its online learning practice, language learning practice muscles. We can listen to our recording again before we submit it. Hi there everyone, it's been a while since I let you all know about how the weather is here. We are in spring at the moment, but it is raining. Not too cold, it's quite a fresh rain. So we can actually review our recording. And if we don't like it, we can delete it, we can cancel it, or we can re-record it. And that's really good, because I found a lot of online learners tend to rehearse their response, have a listen to themselves. If they're not satisfied with it, they delete it before they submit it, and they can resubmit it. What I'll do is I'll just save this message anyway into the thread so you can see how that works. So you can see here it's actually uploading my message. And well, it's probably because I'm doing a screencast at the moment. It's hit a bit of a block. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll actually just try that again, just so I can show it to you. Going back into my profile, back to my talk groups, English iTalk. How's the weather where you are right now? Here's our thread. And it will pop up our options in a moment. I'm going to record a message, and I'm going to do it quickly this time. Weather for today. Hi everybody, the weather is great here today. Hope it's great where you are too. Alright, that was a nice quick one. We'll save our message. Now, even if we submit the message and we're not sort of satisfied with it, it's not too late. We can go back to our discussion again and listen to our own recording. This is the recent one here that I've just put in. And I can skim along to it, and I can press play to listen to it. Hi everybody, the weather is great here today. Hope it's great where you are too. Now let's say I've posted my message in the wrong thread, or I'm not happy with what I posted. There's a little delete key here, and I can just delete it. And I can get rid of my recording from that thread and redo it again, or go to the right place where I needed to do that. So it's a very simple process of getting involved and getting in there and recording responses. But another thing you may be wondering about is how to start a talk group. Well, you'll click on this Start a Talk Group key here. We'll choose a talk group name. We'll just say English Chat, just for the sake of it. What type of group is it? Well, we could say it's a social group, and we could say that it's for education and language. Now, you've got three options here when you start your talk group. You can have an open talk group, which means the whole public can view it and join it. Or you can have a restricted one where the public can view it and listen, but they can't participate in it. And we can also have a fully private one, where only people who are specifically invited can see or hear anything in the talk group, for that matter, or record anything in the talk group. So I'll just do restricted for now. We need to choose an image, so I'll just quickly choose an image here from my pictures. Try and do this nice and quickly. Always slows down a little bit when the screencast is working. I'll just put this image in for the sake of it. And it's loading up the image for me. And we can choose a color scheme too. We can. There's a variety of color schemes that we can choose from. I'll just go with, say, that one. And we can describe it. English chat group. We can put some rules in there if we want to. We can put a URL into our website or our school, and we can also create our discussion zones here. Now, this is actually really important, your discussion zones, because you need to do this now. You cannot add or subtract your discussion zones once the talk group is started. So you can see here we've already got general discussion. We might like to add casual topics, and we can add that to our zone. We could add news discussion. But you need to decide these things before you actually start your group, because there's no way to go and then edit them, remove them, or add to them. So for example, if you're going to use a talk group to apply a textbook, a course book, you might like to actually put in unit names. Unit 1, getting around, and you might like to put in 10 or 12 unit names as your discussion zones. So just for the sake of showing you how this looks, I'm going to create my talk group now, and this is how it looks. Boom, straight away. I've got my discussion zones here on the left: general discussion, casual topics, news discussion, unit 1. As I said, you need to sort of decide and organize those things before you set up your talk group. And then it's just a matter of going in and actually starting your discussion and starting a topic using the same process that I showed you earlier. So that's a Voxopop, fantastic resource for setting up talk groups, for setting up discussions, things you can do that really focus on oral English. Great for tracking a conversation across space and time. It's just been an absolute sort of godsend for what I do with online language learning, and I really suggest you check it out. Try starting up a talk group and getting your students in there. Look, I have no problems with my students using this either. I've yet to come across a student who had serious problems understanding this or learning how to use it. It's very, very intuitive and obvious how to use it. So that's Voxopop, and I give it a score of 250 out of 100. Fantastic resource.